What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoky Quickie, taking a look at something new from the Star Wars Black Series line, and we're continuing with more Mandalorian stuff. Now, I had this on pre-order originally from BBTS, but it was taking forever to come in, and then happened to find it at Walmart, so I just went ahead and picked her up there. And it is the new Bo-Katan Kryze, also known as Katie Sackhoff. So I now have a Katie Sackhoff action figure. I'm okay with this. So there she is, of course, in the Mandalorian style box art and all that kind of cool stuff. I do have the Koska Reeves pre-ordered. We'll see what happens there. I was going to pick up the Bad Batch, but I'm like, I don't have any investment in that. And I almost picked up Asajj Ventress, but once again, not invested in that. But at least for Bo-Katan, at least from the Mandalorian, I'm totally infected. So let's see here. Bo-Katan Kryze, a gifted warrior. Bo-Katan is a legendary Mandalorian. She refused to align with the Empire's occupation of Mandalore. Yep, I feel like you could have actually given her a little bit more there. One thing that's weird, this box is like puffy. Like there's a lot going on here. So let's get her open and let me take a look at her right quick, and then we'll spin the camera around. And you know what really seems kind of silly at this point? I don't have a proper, like, fully best card out Mando. Still. I've never seen one. Never seen, like, that deluxe version. Never seen any of that in store. So look how much cardboard is in this. So they said they were going to start reducing their plastic usage. And they're, like, using 3 times as much cardboard. So that's crap. And they had a couple different Bo-Katan there, so I just looked at it and make sure I got the one that looked okay. Her eyes look fine. Her armor looks cool, decently painted, got some weathering. Her toes are pointed up for some strange reason. Her guns, kind of meh, is what it is. But I like the fact that you can put her helmet on, take it off, stuff like that. And I think I pointed it out on the Armorer, but like you could see a face sculpt underneath the armor. Now whether there was anything on that, like whether it's just a blank buck, I could not remove to find out. I do have a couple of other smaller figures from Star Wars that I might look at. One's not necessarily for review. The other one I bought just in case for selling purposes. The other one is to add to the collection in a way. And I'll show those off later. But, I'm not on a giant Star Wars kick at the moment since we're sort of in between Star Wars. I know Bad Batch starts sometime soon, but not having seen all of Clone Wars, it's kind of like, okay, know what. But either way, let's go ahead and take a closer look at Miss Bo. All right. So it's been quite some time since I filmed the intro to this video. So, yeah. So let's get to her here for the plastic birthing ceremony, as it were. Actually, you know what? I have a knife right here. I'm not going to bother fighting that. Just cut the tape. Make my life easy. There we go. So she's got a couple little guns. They're not really painted worth a damn, so don't have to worry about damaging any paint. Pop her helmet out. And then ultimately, let's get her out. Come on, Starbuck. It's your plastic birthday. Oh. Well, that went flying. Okay. Alrighty then. That was kind of a mess. That's just funny. Okay, so let's take a look at her in general. I got her accessories and stuff all here. So there we go. So that is actually pretty good, Katie Sackhoff. Now I had a couple of them in hand, and this one was slightly better, if I can say that. Hair looks pretty good. She does have the silver headband thing going on, though I think there's supposed to be some blue in that. The digital face paint is okay, if not ever so slightly off due to the... did you notice the top of my thumbnail was her face? Due to like the eyebrow being a little weird. You do have the nice silver and silver chest plate there with the boob armor. You've got the, was it Night Owl? There's a logo right there. Looks good. You've got their whistling birds on her wrist, painted in copper. Of course, she's got both gun holding hands because it's a Star Wars figure. Heaven forbid we get swappable hands. Molded gun sheaths on both sides. Silver plates there, so some Mando armor somewhere in there. The words coming to me, Beskar. There we go. Took a minute. Sorry. And, like, I guess she's supposed to have battle damage, like, here. But, I mean, it basically blends into the color of her under clothes. And I guess they all have very similar knee and, knee armor and greaves and such. There's some glue still sticking out of that one, so I bet they had some issues there. I wish she had a boot cut, but unfortunately she does not. Interestingly enough, like, you do get a different color for the soles. Here, there we go. So you get a different color paint for the sole of the boot. That's pretty neat. Buckles and stuff are painted fairly well. So let's talk neck joint. Okay, so the bottom here, bottom of the neck, is probably on a swivel or at least a ball joint for the whole thing. It feels like a ball joint given the movement, and then the head itself, ball joint mounted. That's cool. Shoulders, disc hinge. No butterfly, at least not on purpose. Molded arms in there. So elbow rotation, which is awkward given the clothing because it kind of goes with it, but good for 90 for shooting positions like that. Okay, wrist, swivel, and then you get some up and down pointing ability, just fine, kind of just the norm. Single ball joint for that. Clearly I loosened that one up. Nice. No waist, that's all you get there. And then you get T-mounted, T-mounted ball joints. Not much of a Jean-Claude, but an okay course line, although the leg rotated. What was that all about? Straight up, there we go. Course line, straight out. Not going to go too far back thanks to the booty, but it is what it is. Thigh rotation, as we already saw. Single jointed knee, which I'm fine with single jointed knees as long as if they hide it well. They did an okay job here. You can see some of the glue still coming out from that knee armor. So I guess if you do it about to there, it's a little bit less obvious. And then toe point, hardly, and ankle tilt to some degree. All right, so let's look at, let's look at our focus, because we clearly don't have any. There we go. Pistols. So she got two of the same exact pistols. Let's be honest here. They're not the greatest. Come on. So, they're okay. Paint's kind of shit, if I'm honest. Let's see if we can get them in the holster. It goes in the holster just fine. She did use these quite a lot in the series when she was around. Did a whole lot of shootering, which is cool. You know, just showing that Mandos are still badass. And then the Night Owls are pretty good as well. Okay. And look, they left a cutout for the trigger finger so that you could actually hold the pistol in your mandatory gun holding hand. Although I'm surprised she has two gun holding hands and not one gun holding hand and one sword holding hand. So that's good. She tended to like just be holding the guns like this. Like, I got this. Actually, maybe just a little out. Though there's not really a good detent. So, kind of like this. Alright, she does have her backpack thingy. So this is a more modern one without the big things. Silver paint on top of ugly gray silver. And blue paint on there. Looks pretty good. It popped off when removing everything, so gotta shove it back in. If you notice that, it actually kind of conformed to the hole a little bit there. So that's pretty good. I like that. Looks nice. Then we do have her helmet. Once again, very nicely painted. Got the owl symbol there. All kinds of battle damage. 2 different blue paints. I digs it. Focus on it, not my fingers. Thank you. Looks good. Can't move. Oh, yeah, you can. The whole thing moves. Interesting. Love that. So you do get her rangefinder. And what's really cool about this, you can just shove it on top of her head. I mean, it looks a little wonky, but I guess it kind of did in the show. So, I mean, the fact that they're giving us helmets that can be removed, actually very cool. Like if you saw with, like the Armorer. Speaking of other Mandos, hold on, let's go through this backwards. So the last Mando we looked at was the Armorer. So she's cool as shit, and there is a head sculpt inside that helmet. Of course, we have no idea who or what it is, and by that I mean I don't, because of course somebody has managed to rip it off her head before. But of course, you know, she's of the weird sect of the Children of the Watch. And speaking of that, I bring in Heavy Mando, who is enormous, let's just be honest here. And we bring in classic Din Djarin, because I still don't have the full Beskar version. I get that out of your butt. There you go. It's just kind of stuck up in there. But it's a cool family photo. And yes, I have the Koska Reeves on pre-order. Though I'll likely find her in store before the pre-order comes in, because that's generally how it works. So I will have that. I'm kind of excited about it. You know, it'll be neat to have that. I hope they give us the other guy. I don't remember his name. He's the one who's actually in Clone Wars and Rebels and such. But, oh no! He took that. See, this is the one thing I always kind of pick on them about. So they'll do battle damage and stuff, but then if they do battle damage, they don't do weathering. But if they're not doing battle damage, they do a good job of weathering. Do both, Hasbro. Do both. So, that's going to be it for this quickie, guys. I will have another Mando next week. A lesser known one, as it were. Armor falls over a lot. And then, oh no, the cape. The cape. It always falls off. So yeah, I will have that next time. And it will also be a comparison, because we have had said Mando before. So this is a very cool figure. You know, very much loved character from the Clone Wars and from Rebels, and then to have her live action debut in The Mandalorian last season was pretty awesome. And God knows if we'll ever see her again, but I know that Katie Sackhoff absolutely loves playing this character, so there's hope for that. But I'll catch you guys on the next one, and remember, as always, this is the way.